Moore gets revenge on reporters who cost him election with unproven sex assault stories by Lady Liberty for veteranaf.com. There is hardly a day that goes by where the liberal leftist media outlets aren't doing everything in their power to lie, cheat, and steal their way into the pockets and political venues of the Democratic Party, and they do it by smearing any Republican who has an overwhelming chance of winning a race. However, it is becoming more apparent that Republicans will no longer take these attacks sitting down. Roy Moore recently took a nasty smear campaign, as we all know, via numerous women who were later found to be lying about sexual assault allegations towards the Alabama Senate hopeful. Moore held himself with dignity and dug into his stance that he was innocent until the women broke down and admitted they lied. The leftist media helped push these wild and baseless allegations, and they paid for it the night of the election. Moore never wavered in his respectful manners. However, he simply refused to allow certain press agencies into his after-party, which sent the reports to the streets to take photos through the windows like errant children being punished in the corner. According to conservative fighters, Roy Moore received bad news last night when the results from the Alabama Senate race came in and revealed that Democrat Doug Jones won the election. However, he did have some kind of revenge planned for the reporters who published the sexual misconduct allegations from 40 years ago. These women claimed that Moore had inappropriate relations with them, and 5 said that he wanted to date them when they were teenagers but over the age of consent. Questions about the validity of the accusers were raised few days before the election, as Beverly Young Nelson admitted that she faked the writing in the yearbook she provided as a proof. Nelson said she wrote the date and the location at the bottom. Anyhow, his signature was the same color of ink as the date and location. Moore denied the accusations on several occasions. However, the allegations may have had played a role in his loss of the election. So Moore had a little payback plan for the Washington Post, who made the damage. When the Washington Post reporters requested for credentials to attend his election night event, Moore's campaign banned them. CNN host Brian Stelter said that the reporters were simply told no when they applied for an access. Lauren Walsh, an ABC reporter, also confirmed that the Washington Post had been banned, reporting that the newspaper was informed yesterday. Just spoke to Moore campaign, which confirmed reporters from the Washington Post were asked to leave the election night party. The campaign said the Washington Post was notified yesterday that credentials were denied, #Alabama Senate. As it turns out, the Washington Post reporters attempted to crash the party but were removed from the event anyway, and they resort to taking photos from outside. Gina Johnson, Roy Moore's party, is underway in downtown Montgomery. There you have it. For weeks, there was an ongoing barrage of accusations made about Roy Moore, where he was even accused of pedophilia and going after several underage girls. One of Moore's accusers was Beverly Young Nelson, the ex-waitress who charged Moore for groping her when she was 16 and he was in his 30s, used the high school yearbook bearing Moore's signature as proof that she knew him, even though Nelson would be busted for plagiarizing the yearbook entry. Okay, we all know that. Well, there still has yet to be any evidence against Moore except the testimonies of these women who conveniently crawled out of the woodwork to share their stories right before the race. It was even discovered that George Soros was behind the hit research of Moore and was encouraging these women to speak out against the Republican judge. There is nothing better than watching as the biased and evil press shivers in the cold of night as well as the wake of Moore's cold shoulder, just waiting to get the scoop. This is exactly what needs to be done more often to these horrid excuses for journalists. Turn your backs and give them nothing. Absolutely disgraceful what they did to Moore. You know, anyway, there was election fraud. There's no doubt about it. Nobody's going to change their mind just because of these stupid allegations. I mean, you got to be really dumb. No, there was voter fraud involved. That's why they got people bussed in from other areas. There's no way. There's no way a Republican state is going to lose like that. No. Voter fraud and Soros back then, they got the inmates voting, bussing in people. But I hope he looks into this real deeply and checks it out, because it's such a shame. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.